Okay, this is a video on how to use a penny board. Penny board is a token reward system that you use to basically reinforce students. So what this video is meant to do is to teach you how to use a penny board, what its purpose is, but then also give you some of the options that you can change and the flexibility that you have built into the system so that you can adapt to any of the students' needs, and so that you can have the flexibility to use it in any situation. So first of all, how does a penny board work? Well, the penny board works by having it's five coins, and you can count them up to 5 equals. That's how you earn the break. So you earn pennies for doing what's requested of you. You earn pennies by completing tasks or following commands or being compliant. A couple of things to point out. First of all, the adult controls the pennies themselves until they give them to the student. Then the student, if they're able, puts it on. Once you have 5 pennies, you go, how many pennies do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've earned iPad in this case. And that's the way it works. You can have it set up so that you can earn 5 pennies in exchange for a nickel, and then you can exchange 2 nickels for a dime, and then something might cost a dime. So you can increase this in terms of the amount of coins that the student needs to earn. I'm gonna focus basically on just 5 pennies right now, which is the beginner level of use of the penny board. So what you want to do is a couple important things. First of all, the thing that the student's working for needs to be the student's choice, because if the thing that they're working for is something that you've chosen, it might not be a valuable reinforcer, and so the penny board will lose all meaning if the thing that the kid's working for doesn't really reinforce them. So what I like to do when I first start out work with the penny board, what I'll do is I'll let the student choose. I'll give them a choice of 3 things, and I'll say, what do you want to work for? And then they'll put that card. Some examples of those cards could be doing a puzzle, coloring, using an iPad, and also it can also mean access to certain people. So my students have the ability to work with me if they want to work with me or talk to me or anything like that. Anything that is valuable to your student can go on a penny board. It could be a snack. It could be access to a person. It could be a walk. Anything you want. Just make a card of it and then put it on here. It goes up top like this. Another thing, you always start with 1 penny. No matter what, you have to have at least 1 penny on there. This board is never ever blank. So as work happens, the student earns the penny and they go up. So let's talk a little bit about the flexibility in that. So you can start with this, like needing to earn 4 more pennies for a thing, and that's fine. You can change 2 things when you use the penny board to give yourself flexibility. The first one that you can change is the rate at which you give pennies. I can give a penny after a student is done with 1 work task. I could give them a penny after they've finished 1 step of that work task. So think of it in terms of a worksheet. Okay, the worksheet has 10 problems on it. I could give the student a penny after every single problem that they do if they're really struggling with it, or I could give the student a penny after each worksheet that they're due. It really depends how much rigor the work is. The harder the work, the faster the pennies come. But then also just the well-being of the student at the time. You want to make sure that you're keeping your penny distribution at such a way that you're in the zone of proximal development. Basically, you don't want the pennies to come too freely, because then you're undercutting yourself, but then also you don't want to withhold pennies when you should be giving them, because then the pennies don't have really much value, and then the student's going to have behaviors. So again, to repeat, the thing that you can change is how fast you give the pennies, and that's up to you. And you don't have to, you can tell the student, I'll give you a penny after you finish this problem, or I'll give you a penny after 5, or you can keep it to yourself and just keep track yourself. The next thing you can change is the starting number of pennies. If I have a student who is in significant crisis, I will still use the penny board. There's never a situation when I don't use the penny board, but I'll start with 4 pennies. And that way, the thing that the student is earning, the absolute maximum help that you can give a kid is start with 4 pennies and give them a penny for the first bit of compliance that they have. So if you have a student in crisis, it might be sit down or stand up or whatever it might be, let go of something, put something down, whatever it is, you can start with this penny. You can start with the penny like this. So so that you can change the starting number of the pennies too, and that way you have flexibility to really make the penny board match whatever the work stamina that the student has at the time. So these are the basics of the penny board. Just a little bit of design help. I put Velcro on the back of my penny boards so that I can hold the extra pennies, and then I can also hold a short list of my break options. If I have certain ones that I know that I want to have on hand at all times, that way I don't have to go to the central place where I keep all my break cards. Just a few things that we use. You can change this however you want. The concept is the same. It's a token economy. The nice thing about pennies is it teaches a real life skill, and that it's scalable. You can use 5 pennies for a nickel, and so on and so on. So hopefully this will help you use a penny board and help you use it effectively, and realize that a penny board is always a good answer, and it's actually possible to use it in every single situation. So thanks for listening.